Hello and happy Easter days to you folks. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So I thought it would be fun for me to do for my reviews today in the space and that sort of thing too, to knock out another H.P. Lovecraft review for you folks. This is his poem The Cats. Was not published during his lifetime, but it was published posthumously in 77. And that sort of thing too. It's actually very, very fast. It's only a few stanzas long. It took me a couple minutes for me to knock it out last night for the first time. That sort of a thing too. H.P. Lovecraft was my favorite author. After I started off with my first sort of my first favorite author was J.R.R. Tolkien. After I read his Lord of the Rings stuff, as a kid, loved it. My early school, devoured it, and then would read Emmett McCaffrey or Fred Saberhagen, that sort of a thing too. Then I encountered R.A. Salvatore in a couple of years later in junior high, and then he became my favorite author. Loved him so much, and that sort of thing too. I would follow his stuff to all the other places that he went. When I recently moved here, he actually had an entire book of his stuff. Then I read Moorcock a few years later on in high school. And then he became my favorite author after I read some of his stuff and really felt like he sort of matured me as a reader, and that sort of a thing too, with much more sort of adult sort of themes and that sort of a thing too. And then after that, and about 6 years later, and in my junior year in college, I read a 3-volume collection of H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and he became my favorite author. And that sort of a thing too. He's still my favorite author through today. Already, I've read like all of his stuff, all of his fiction, for a variety of member collections and that sort of a thing too. But I haven't read his poems, and that sort of a thing too. So I will link you to The Cats below. And I thought it would be fun for me to read The Cats to you since it's pretty short, and then we could talk about it too. Ready? Here we go. Babbles of blocks to the high heavens now towering, flames of futility swirling below, poisonous fungi in brick and stone flowering, lanterns that shudder, and death lights that glow. Black monsters, bridges across oily rivers, cobwebs of cable by nameless things spun, catacomb deeps whose dank chaos delivers streams of live fetor that rots in the sun. The color and the splendor, disease and decay, shrieking and ringing and scrambling insane. Rabbles exotic to stranger gods praying, jumbles of odor that stifle the brain. Legions of cats from the alleys and nocturnal, howling and lean in the glare of the moon, screaming the future with mouthings infernal, yelling the burden of Pluto's red rune. Tall towers and pyramids ivied and crumbling, bats that swoop low in the weed crumblers streets, bleak broken bridges o'er rivers whose rumbling joins with no voice in the thick tide retreats. Belfries that blackly against the moon totter, caverns whose mouths are by mosses affected, and living to answer the wind and the water, only the lean cats that howl in the waste. So there's The Cats. As you can tell, this is basically not set in the Cthulhu mythos. It's not a traditional sort of horror style thing that he was known for, putting him on the map in a major way, and has kept people reading his stuff today. And I love his Cthulhu mythos stuff for probably at least 1,000 stories in that. I love him lots. He's a master of horror. And great stuff. I think that he has. So this has, and that sort of thing too, doesn't have any fantasy elements like his shadow, like his Dreamlands, where they're based on Lord Dunsany stuff inspired by him too, or any of his science fiction ones that he'll sometimes do too. It doesn't have any of those aspects. This is set in a normal urban landscape after decay has set in, and that sort of a thing. And the cats are the only things that roam at night and that are living and doing well. That sort of a thing too. Great images, great descriptions, that sort of thing too. And so yeah, I like it lots. I think it's some good stuff right there too. But I'm not really a poetry critic. Right? I don't read a lot of poetry. I typically read short stories or I might do the occasional prose poem here and there by Clark Ashton Smith or some other stuff too. But typically, right, I'm not somebody who reads a lot of poems. And that sort of a thing too. I like the visuals, the imagery, the endings are great too. So I'm giving this probably like an 8 out of 10 to it too. Love it lots. Great stuff. But there you are. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Happy to engage you with it further. Like I mentioned, I'm not a poetry critic. I'm not somebody who comes to this from a degree of expertise. Either I didn't study English in college or literature or even Lovecraft studies. I was just a fan like you are. So that means your opinion really is as valid as mine is, right? So I'm happy to engage you with that further in the comments below. Whatever your thoughts are. I also do on Saturday, I do Serial Saturdays where I review older movie reviews that people may have forgotten about too, oftentimes from this era when Lovecraft was alive. And that sort of thing too, so you can check that out on Wednesday. I do older video game reviews too. I've done the Fallout series, I've done Baldur's Gate films, Star Control 2 from '92, that sort of thing too. On Monday, I do reviews of older things in the RPG, tabletop, or wargaming space, like Middle Earth role-playing reviews. Dungeons and Dragons from the first couple of editions, or modules, BattleTech, that sort of a thing too, so you can check that stuff out too. And then the other 3 reviews a week I do are of things like this that are older, that are written from decades ago, or some hopeful or in pulp era. Lots of them too. Love it lots. And those are in the 3 genres that we cover. All this one is science fiction, fantasy, and horror too. Right, for you folks. This is just fun though. But there you go for you folks. And so if those 7 reviews a week sound like your cup of tea, then great. Welcome to the channel. Have a seat. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit. And while you're here, why not do all the YouTube stuff? Like hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon to be notified of those 7 videos a week that I do. And then watch and share. Share and watch. Those are the key ways to grow this channel a lot. And that sort of a thing too. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks. Alright, so there you go. And as you can tell from this, some of the older things is the passion, right, of this channel. It's even where its name comes from. That's a quote by French philosopher Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff, right? And again, our passion for the new novels, the new video games, the new movies, the new album and music, and that sort of thing too. We have sometimes forgotten, right, that these things, they are standing on the shoulders of giants. So let's check out those giants. Not that they're bad and right, but you get the idea. Alright, so there, I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So if you spend this time with me, it's incredibly humbling. And I appreciate that time so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.